LeetCode 620, not boring movies. Write a solution to report the movies with an odd number ID and a description that is not boring. Return the result table ordered by rating in descending order. The result format is in the following example. We're going to solve this very easy LeetCode question in both SQL as well as Python Pandas, and I'm going to show you the very few lines of code that I write. Okay, time to solve it. All right, so our example input, we have IDs, movie, description, and the rating. And then you can see the output over there. We have ID, 5 and 1, movie, house card, war, description, interesting, great, and rating 9.1, 8.9. And said, we've included 3 movies with odd number IDs, 1, 3, 5. The movie ID of 3 is boring, so we do not include it in the answer. So let's start writing this out. The table name is going to be called cinema. So what I'll start off with is a select star from cinema, because, and the reason why I'm doing a select star, take a look at this table over here. We have the same exact stuff, ID, movie, description, rating. So we're grabbing all the columns from that. Okay. Next, we have that description column. So we need to filter where it's not boring. So we put in here where description is not equal to boring. So throw that in here, piece of cake, right? And then it wants to have odd. So the way we do that is and we're going to go to this ID column now, and you're going to use this percentage sign. And if we use that and put 2 over here, and this equals 1, that means it's an odd number. If it's 0, that means it's an even number. So we want to make sure that this is equal to 1. You don't see this happen all the time, but more for the interview side of things. Lastly, we can tell that the rating is the highest on here, right? 9.1 to 8.9. So we need to do an order by. So order by rating descending, and that's it. So I'm just going to run this code, and it should work. And it's been accepted, and that's been my solution. So one last time, we're grabbing all the columns. So that's why we're doing a select star from the cinema table. It's asked us for non-boring, so boring like that. It asks us for odd, so we do ID, we do this %2 equals 1. And then lastly, we order by the rating descending because we want to have the highest rating first. Let's move on to the Python code. All right, so on the Python side of things, it starts off with this function that it gives us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new data frame in here. So I'm going to say cinema final, and they're going to say that's equal to cinema. And we're going to look inside of cinema, and we're going to filter by 2 different things. So when you do filter by 2 different things, make sure you put in your parentheses like that. We'll put and then we'll do the same exact thing again on the other side. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the non-boring side of things. So cinema like that. Then you put your description in here, description, and then we're going to say that's not equal to boring. So put boring like that. Awesome. And that's essentially our where clause or where filter in the SQL side of things, but with Python Pandas, right? And then now what we're going to do is make sure the ID is odd. So cinema, throw your ID in here like that. Then we're going to do %2 equals 1, right? And that's our where clause. And now we need to order. So what we're going to do is return. We're going to return our data frame because it's in this function over here. And then what I'm going to return is the cinema final because we just created that one over here that's been filtered. I'm going to do .sort values. So sort values like that. We're going to say by equals rating, and then ascending is false. So ascending equals false. And that should be our code. So I'm just going to run this really quick and make sure it works. I have no typos, and then we'll go through this one more time, and it's been accepted. So what we're doing is we're creating a new data frame called cinema final. We're going to equal to cinema, and we're going to be filtering inside of cinema. So we first look our description, not boring, and then we look for our ID that's odd. Again, I explained this in the SQL side of things, but if this is 1, it's odd. If it's 0, it's even. Lastly, we return our new data frame that we created, cinema final. But what we're going to do is just sort the values. So you could say by the rating, right? And then instead of descending like we did in SQL, we just say ascending equals false. And that's been how you've been able to solve this question. Well, this question was definitely a confidence booster. I hope you guys were able to achieve the solution with me. If you were and you're brand new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'm uploading 2 to 4 videos every single week. Not just these LeetCode style interview questions, but I have a ton of videos on SQL and Python. as I'm a full-time data scientist. Anyways, if you want to watch more LeetCode questions, I have a playlist linked down below as well as other questions, or you can click up right over here.